Penguin Audio presents America, the Vulnerable, inside the new threat matrix of digital espionage, crime, and warfare, by Joel Brenner. Read by Lloyd James. Introduction. How did the Chinese manage to remotely download up to 20 terabytes of information from the Defense Department, equal to about 20% of all the data in the Library of Congress? And why don't we know exactly what they took? How did WikiLeaks get its hands on classified diplomatic cables? And why hasn't the U.S. government been able to shut it down? How did the specifications for the avionics and armor on the president's helicopter end up in Tehran? And what has that got to do with the theft of Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer's private data from his investment advisor? The answers to these questions reveal alarming threats to our personal, corporate, and national security that come from a new type of espionage and from the sudden transparency that electronic connectivity has brought to all aspects of our lives. Your difficulties with electronic privacy, the electronic theft of America's cutting-edge technology, and the government's loss of state secrets are a lot more alike than you know. I spent most of the first decade of the 21st century working at the heart of the U.S. government's efforts to thwart spying and terrorism against us. First as Inspector General of the National Security Agency, and then as Chief of Counterintelligence for the Director of National Intelligence. As I carried out these assignments, I saw plenty of the old-fashioned kind of espionage, but I also witnessed the dramatic rise of a new kind of spying that exploits digital technology itself, and the fact that we have all come to rely so thoroughly on that technology. During my tenure in government, I came to understand how steeply new technology has tipped the balance in favor of those, from freelance hackers to Russian mobsters to terrorists to states like China and Iran, who want to learn the secrets we keep, whether for national, corporate, or personal security. Much of my understanding arose from classified work that I cannot discuss here or anywhere, but I can share the insights I gleaned about this new form of espionage, how it works, what the biggest and most vulnerable targets are, who does it best, as well as what it means for the future of warfare, intelligence, market competition, and society at large. I also came to understand what we can and cannot do to counter this flood of espionage. The truth I saw was brutal and intense. Electronic thieves are stripping us blind. I'm not just talking about the pirating of DVDs and movies in Asia, or somebody ripping off your social security number. That's bad enough, but it's worse than that. Technologies that cost millions or billions to develop are being bled out of our corporate laboratories via the Internet, or they're slipping out after hours on thumb drives, walking onto airplanes bound for foreign ports, and re-entering the country as finished products developed by foreign entrepreneurs. In effect, we're buying back our own technology. Other Western firms, meanwhile, are bleeding trade secrets, engineering designs, know-how, and other intellectual property through electronic leakage. In the public sector, sensitive diplomatic cables are suddenly splashed across the headlines worldwide. The same organizations that broadcast those cables gleefully distribute lists of critical infrastructure, airports, bridges, chemical plants, that are the most vulnerable to attack. And as I describe in the pages that follow, we're losing strategically sensitive data about aircraft and ship design, radars, and other defense technology, as well as information about auto manufacturing, engineering designs, and other commercial innovations. This theft contributes to the tidal flow of capital from west to east that threatens our prosperity, and it could in wartime cost many American lives. This kind of theft is targeted and systematic. The U.S. Navy spent about $5 billion.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?